The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Money Masters. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Right now, we get the Dow down 380, Nasdaq's off 92, S&Ps are down 45. And if we start with the S&Ps, let's go over to these S&Ps because what you're going to see out here, folks, is this. This is going to get really heavy, man, because what you have is that you had the big downdraft. You had a nice counter-trend bounce on the downdraft. And if you listen to the Larry's of 0.382, which is pretty amazing. And then what you have now is this, is that the lows that were established out here this morning in the S&P was 1914. What you're going to see, you know, each and every day when we do the program, it's some days it's the E-minis that are giving the signal. Some days it's the NQs, okay? The NQs are the NASDAQ futures. It's the E-minis today, folks, okay? The E-minis can't hold price. So it's going to get really intriguing at the 1922 area. Right now you're at 1924.50. You know, we'll see how it basically hits that area. What we did do coming off the low this morning in that bounce is we just got to ice. That's where this is set up. It's a classic Wyckoff deal. You come to ice, you can't handle it, you pull back. What I do expect to see is this. The way that the Nikkei traded last night and the Hang Seng, it's a huge problem, you know, and we'll get that filtered out in the next couple hours. Specifically, the Hang Seng closed down 485, and it's not that it closed down 485. That's not the thing that you want to be looking at. The lows that were established in the Hang Seng on the 25th was 20,865. The Hang Seng closed at 21,185. The high of that is 21,871. So we closed 21,000. Yeah, we closed 600 points into that bar. That's a huge problem. Now, if it was only in the Hang Seng, you know, you'd say okay, but it's not. The Nikkei also closed into this bar in a huge way. The Nikkei was down 724 points. The high of the low is 18,835, so the Nikkei closed 600 points into it. The low is 17,774, and it closed at the low. So the way that looks to me on a basis, meaning coming through today, is that has a much larger indication that we're going to see more pressure. You know, volatility is going to be here, no doubt, up, down, all around. But when all's said and done, we're going to be at lows. That's going to set up a real problem tonight in Australia and in Asia, and coming back in here tomorrow morning, that's going to set up a larger problem for our markets. There's no doubt that you know, you basically are going to see an expansion of volume out here. Thus far, we've done 184 million in the NYSE. We take a look at the Nasdaq. What the Nasdaq has done, we have done. The Nasdaq's done 363, so the Nasdaq's going to be off the charts volume as we're coming into lower price. Let's take a look at the Dow Industrials, the strength versus the weakness. So we got everything is in the negative in the Dow. The laggard is ExxonMobil. That's down 287 at 72.36. Chevron's down 283. We're going to look at both of those. JP Morgan's down $2. GE is down 79 cents. The strongest stock inside the Dow, dead cat bounce. You get, well, it's down, but it's still a dead cat bounce. You have Coca-Cola down 52 cents. Disney's down 134. Big Mac is down 128, and Walmart is down 87. Inside the NDX 100, what do we have? And by the way, inside that NDX 100 yesterday, what was one of the clues that the NASDAQ couldn't handle it was that IBB. That IBB stock getting taken apart. Now, inside the NDX 100, all 100 stocks are in the negative. The laggard, okay, is Dollar Tree. That's down $5.52. You get Netflix down 7, Micron Tech's down 63, Wynn Resorts is down 289. We're going to go back to Wynn. That's a monster ABC structure on the way down. That stock has already got killed. The leaders on the way down, Inside the NDX is Dish. The leaders, meaning down the least amount, is Dish Networks. That's down 6 cents. Liberty's down 8 cents. Alterra is down 15, and American Airlines is down 19. WYNN. So what you have with Wynn Resorts is this. Going after an additional B point. That B point is down here. Is trading at 71.25. We've hit 71.25. Okay, we haven't hit it yet. That's the swing low. This is down 298. We'll see how it hits it. That's the real bottom line. Actually, it's on a weekly. Yeah, on a weekly, it already broke a ABC structure on the way down. So we got 15 million. It's a close call because when it actually broke it broke it with lighter volume. This stock has gone straight down from 247 to 72. It looks like it's going to go a lot lower. So what did happen is that in the Nikkei, folks, in Macau, the gambling revenue went down 35%. It's as Larry was saying, it's almost unheard of, and there's no doubt that is a monster number. We go take a look at the SPY, how volume-wise in the SPY right now. We've done 62 million shares. Bottom line is that you're coming into that's monster volume, by the way, huge volume, and we're going to see more of that. So the SPY right now is trading at 193.23, and the high is 197. So we're $4 into that bar. The further that we get into that bar, the more dangerous this whole downdraft becomes. We go take a look at the 3Qs. What we have with the 3Qs, the 3Qs are at 102.40. That top of that bar is 102.53. So the Qs are really not, the Qs are not into that bar far. We're only talking about 20 cents. That's not a big deal. So the Qs you want to keep your eye on. We'll see whether you get a rejection of lower price into that, and they'll build a bit more cause. Some of the Dow stocks, this is what you have. You have American Express, man, every one of these is down $2 or $3. You got American Express off $2. You get Boeing down 3. You get Citigroup down 222. Oxy's down 259. You get Big Blue down 420. Let's go over to Big Blue first and see where Big Blue is trading. Big Blues go, okay, so this is a heads up. Now, this is going to be kind of cool. We're going to be able to get an inclination of how we're going to handle the lows of the 24th and 25th. And this is what it is. Big Blue right now is down $4.17. You're trading at 143.71. We bring this back, and what you're going to see is that Big Blue is right at, it's not at its lows yet. The lows that were established for Big Blue was 140.62. However, you're into the trading range in a huge way. If Big Blue can't get out of here, that's going to give you a good indication that, number one, we're going to go test the bottom of the range, and the bottom of the range on Big Blue is 140.62. So you keep Big Blue. I would keep Big Blue on the radar. The reason you keep it on the radar, as we're going through the day out here, it'll give you a good inclination as to, okay, are you going to get a bounce? Are you going to be basically down at the lows as we're coming into the close out here today? We go take a look at ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil is pulling back 262. We're at 72.62. And this little baby, I suspect, will make it back to its 71.38 area. Now, how we come into 71.38, you're going to want to basically wrap your head around that. The reason being is that that's the high volume swing low that was established on the 24th. We take a look at the actual oil market. Oil market out here, that went topside with a vengeance. You're pulling back right now, 239. You're at 46.85. And as Mr. Larry Pesavento said, you want to wait for the first ABC down structure in order to basically get into that equity. In my case, I'd be looking for lighter volume simultaneously as that baby's pulling back. You get both, then you get some action happening. We're going to take a look at some of the higher volume stocks in this market right now. You have Bank of America down 51 cents. You get Apple off 170. Netflix is down 630. You have Exxon. Exxon's a big one. GoPro's down 302. Let's go take a look at the IBB and see where that IBB is standing out. IBB is down $6.77. That also is into the bar. So the high of that bar for the IBB of our downdraft of the 24th, 340. Let's go take a look at the IBB. So the IBB is also going to give us a real clue here, folks. This is pretty cool. This is how you get out. You're looking for the market to release information to you. Okay, so the IBB. Whoops, 1 second. Put this baby up. I'm going to bring it back 6 days because what you're looking for. Whoops. There she is. Okay, so the IBB right now, the low that was, the high of the low is 339. And right now we're dealing with 334. So you're into it pretty good. You're into the range. You drop below 333, which we were right there, man, then you're going right after those lows is 325. Now, what that will do is this. This is what you absolutely want to wrap your head around. The IBB looks to me like it's going to go right after the low, you know, basically the next 10 minutes. You have that phenomena happening in that the IBB will be leading that NASDAQ into lower price. And as I said a little bit earlier, we already know that the E-minis, bottom line, have been screaming that they're going to try to get into the lows that were established this morning of 1914. Right now, you're at 1926. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We'll be coming right back. Dow is down at 369. You get the NASDAQ off 89. S&Ps are down 42. We're going to be right back.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you'll lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
You know what's cool? taking something that's good for you, something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Tom takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now down 365. We get the Nasdaq off 91. S&Ps are down 43. We're at the 1926 area. And if we bring up those S&Ps, we're going to show you, last Thursday, folks, okay, bottom line, ESU. So when we came back, bottom line, we came back fast, furious, all of the above. If you remember, when I was on the air, on Thursday, it was pretty amazing, actually. The S&Ps dove into the price point of 1949, and it's 1949, 1944.25. They get into 1944.25, and within a half hour, they get down there. Let me show you something here, because this is going to be important on the way back up. They get down there with high volume. Within a half hour, they go from a price point of 85 to 44. They go back up to 90, and that's where they close, okay? Now, what we were doing yesterday is that we were, building cars to, get into that area. Well, bottom line is that we not only got into the area, we start pushing into that area, but with volume, okay? So now, what does that area mean? Well, what that area means now is this. Now, watch how this shakes out. Because the 1944 number, you want to keep your eye on. What we did, when we did a counter trend bounce up here today, you got into 1939.50. That's going to be the number that's going to be hard to get through on the way up because of how we came down. So that's basically, I suspect the first time up, that's what kind of stopped the S&P. The S&P went from 1914, nice bounce at the open, gets up to the 1939 area. So it's the 1944.25, which is that number. So keep your eye on that number. The longer that we hang out here today, let's see, we're at 1026. This market basically is hanging at these down 300 levels at 11:15 this afternoon, 11:30, which I do expect that we're going to be at. But if it is hanging out there, then you're going to see some real problems in the marketplace, because what you have is this. You're in a holiday week. You're on a Tuesday. You already started down. Large money managers, bottom line, you can see some of their numbers come out for the month of August, and they weren't great. They're going to be basically sitting there and saying, okay, am I going to take more heat? Or am I going to start selling something off just to protect myself? Because you got to remember something, the aspect of going down 5%, how much you got to come back just to make up that 5% is big, big numbers. So there's going to be some decisions that are made out here as this market, I'd say in the next hour and a half. That's how this thing is shaking out. We're going to take a look at the XAU, the HUI, which we have with the XAU, HUI. They're both flat out here. You got the XAU down 59 cents right now. We got into the highs of last Friday. Yesterday, you were pushing there with 1.3 million shares. Let me go take a look at an Eagle. We'll take a look at these. An Eagle has done 1.3 million shares You're coming into 4.3. Now, this is good, okay? So check this out. An Eco-Eagle went to 25.05. Hasn't held price, but has juice. And as you have juice and you're coming into swing points, that's what you're looking for. And all those golds are going to need some big numbers. The reason they're going to need big volume numbers is that the way that we had come down on the 24th of August, we came down with some volume. If we go look at FNV, which will give us a good indication of where the gold contract wants to go, Franco-Nevada's down 138,000 shares. You're coming into 1.1 million shares, as well as 2.2 million shares. So it has to do that kind of numbers in order to break into the much larger range that I suspect they're going to try to break into. We go take a look at the Rango Resources, GOLD. Rango Resources has done 319,000 shares. It's coming into 1.3 million. So that also is going to have juice as it's pushing into that supply line. So what those goals are doing is this. They're going into the supply line, the way we came down. They have an expanded volume as they're pushing into that area, and that's what you need in order to basically get, in order to get to higher price. Now let's go over, take a look at the NQs right now. You get a little bounce happening once again. We'll see how this is shaken out, because this is the bounce that you're going to be able to have something against it, meaning that the expansion up this morning on the 10-minute was 25,000 contracts. Right now, your first expansion up is only on 11,000, so that's not even close to being enough. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back. Dow's down 311, Nasdaq's up 69, S&P's are down 36. We're going to be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com. TFNN has just announced a brand new morning lineup that is geared specifically for traders in this volatile traders market. Every morning at 8 a.m., John Logan starts things off with his daily program, The Global Market Pulse. At 9 a.m., Larry Pesavento trades the market during the market open Monday through Friday on Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom O'Brien hosts the Money Masters for the hour, and Basil Chapman hosts his Tiger Technicians Hour at 11 a.m. From 8 a.m. till noon every market day, these traders are with you as they provide up-to-the-second market information so that you can make the most educated and profitable trades possible. The new TFNN morning lineup is happening right now. Tune in to see for yourself what kind of actionable trading discussion they have each morning, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m., live only on Tiger TV at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We get the Dow down 316, Nasdaq's up 70, S&P's are down 36. We go take a look at the small caps, the IWM. And the IWM right now, folks, is trading down $1.74. You're at 113.47. That level there is $1.20 into the lows that were established out here on the 24th. If we dig a little deeper into it, meaning we'll bring this back on a 10-minute, and we see exactly, what the spike was. This is what you have. The 113 right off the bat. You don't break 113. It will hit one. If you don't close under 113, that's going to keep the IWM in a higher range. The IWM has to get into 112.53 in order to basically trade into that lower range. We go over, let's go take a look right now at the NQs, because what we have is that you get another bounce developing, and this is what right before the break I was explaining, that your first surge higher NQU in the market today, that's where you got a little juice. What this is going to set up, is the market going to be able to get to higher price and hang to higher price? Okay, so this is what you have. The first high in the NQs this morning was 4223. We did 25,900 contracts at that level. We're above it right now. The real key is going to be, do you close above it at 1040? Right now we're at 1035. And do you have volume? You close above it with volume, then you're going to have action, because intraday you'd make a case that, hey, guess what? 47's the low, 23 is the high, which is a monster number, because you're talking about, 53, 63, 73 points. That would get you into 4252. That's how that would work. Now, that's on the bullish side. On the bearish side, what you have is this. You close below 4223 on this 10-minute, and you have lighter volume, which at this particular case it looks like it would be. Then what does that set up? That sets up another lunge down to the 4182 area. If we go over to the E-minis, because we know that the E-minis were giving out a nice bunch of information earlier, we take a look at the E-minis. What you have with the E-minis is this. The high of the E-minis this morning was 1939. We've done 101,000 contracts there. You're coming up into that level, and thus far we've done 47,000 contracts in 7 minutes. It'll test it, Now, this is where this gets cool. So if you're a bull, what you don't want that test for another 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The reason being is that it's not going to have enough juice right now. If you're a bear, you want to see this thing get tested right now, because what happens is that you don't have the amount of velocity that you're looking for. Now, when you wrap that all together, what you want to wrap together, folks, is what? You want to wrap together the larger aspect, and the larger aspect is how I started this program off, and the larger aspect is that the Hang Seng and the Nikkei closed at its lows. So let's go. I'm going to go over to the Hang Seng, and we're going to see intra-night, their day, what it did. And what you did is this. The Hang Seng last night opened at 21,962, 692. Runs down to 21,404. Bounces to 21,620. No, oh, sorry. Okay, that was the prior night. Okay, Hang Seng opens at approximately 21,528. Does a small bounce to 21,563. Goes sideways almost all night. No, goes sideways for 2 hours. And then just takes it deep. I mean deep, too. That's the Hang Seng, okay? We go over to the Nikkei. We take a look at the Nikkei. What does the Nikkei do? The Nikkei opens at 18,535, gets up to 18,615, and then just gives it up in spades and goes thundering down. When you're trading, you want the shorter term and the longer term, so you really understand where everything's at. Particularly, folks, in a type of market that we're at right now, because you're going to have high velocity moves. They're going to be fast. They're going to look like they come out of nowhere. That's kind of just how markets like to move when you have these big numbers coming out. Then you're going to take the time frame that you're in, and the time frame that we're in out here today, as I said a little bit earlier, it's 1039 right now. You get 1139 with a high-profile Dow number. Mainly a high-profile Dow number would be over 300, even though, you know, the bottom line is that Dow numbers is only 30 stocks and really don't mean a thing. They do, however, to the populace. That's kind of how it works, okay? They can mask markets when there's distribution at highs. You know, every day the Dow goes up, and they can mask it. But what does happen on the way down, sometimes they look worse than they are. Right now, you have the Dow down 1.8%. The S&Ps are off 2. The NASDAQ is down 1.3. We go back over and we take a look at that S&P. Inside that S&P right now, that bottom line is that it couldn't handle that price. Now, this is where this gets interesting. The first high established on the S&P was 1939.50. The second high was 1938.25. If that S&P, if the E-mini can't get to that first high, what is that giving you? That's giving you another indication that there's going to be more selling in the marketplace. And what you'd look at is this. You'd look at, as soon as you come back inside the 1931.50, we had 87,000 contracts. You get inside that level, and if the volume expands again, what you're doing is that you're building cause for lower price, and you're building cause to go after the lows that were established out here. The first one to look at is not the low of the day. The first one that you're going to be dealing with is 1931.50 to 1921.50. That's your level. You know, whether you're trading or not, folks, you can learn a huge amount about markets and how they trade in a market like this. And bottom line, you know, stay glued, because they move so fast, you can see how these numbers bounce off each other. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. The indice volumes thus far, we got 256 on the NYSE, and we are dealing with, see, it's going to be wicked, man. It's going to be a wicked expansion of volume as you're moving into lower price out here. So we got, and there's never enough room to get out. Yeah, we're already at 500 million shares on the NASDAQ. We're at 541 million on the NASDAQ. That's a monster number, folks, okay? That is saying that the unloading is happening out here. Inside the NDX, you got, and the NDX, by the way, is not down like the S&P's down. Inside the NDX, oh, look at this. And you got the the biotechs are actually positive. You got Alexa Pharmaceutical up 177. Biogen is up 277. Let's see what kind of bounces these babies have. So if I go to the IBB, we take a look at the IBB. That's only down 226 right now at 339.73. And she filled the gap. That's impressive, though. That's impressive, man. You know, the IBB, the low that was established out here is 32 today. It's at 39 right now. It's trying to fill that gap. It stopped in its tracks. You know, but bottom line is that that is impressive for the type of day that we're having out here. The Dow's having a really tough time. It's having a tough time getting outside of that 300 number. And if we take a look at the diamonds, the way the diamonds are set up, the diamonds thus far, the low of today was 161.18, and that just can't get out of its way, man. You know, so you're already into the high. Well, not yet. Let's see. We're at 161.95. At 161.88, you get into that level for too long a time, meaning 5-6 minutes. That's going to be a problem. That would be the Dow Industrials going after its swing low of 161.18. What the Dow has shown is that last blurb up, we did 379,000 shares versus 832. So what the Dow has showed is this, is that it can't handle higher price. That's pretty dramatic. On a 10-minute basis, that's dramatic. 379 versus 832. Let's go see what the other one is. These are the clues, folks, that the market does release to you as to where the supply is versus the demand. If we go to the SPY, what you're going to look at the SPY is this. The SPY was going into 11.2 million shares, and you only did 5.3. That's still half the volume. That's problematic. Now what the SPY is going to show us is this. The SPY is inside the low bar. Okay, so check this out. The top of the low bar is 193.95. The bottom of that bar is 193. What you're looking for now is this. We did 7.5 million shares. We're 4 minutes into that bar. If we get anywhere near that number, that's going to be going after that low. Thus far, you're at 1.9 million shares. So that's light volume going into that bar. So you have two separate issues. You have the price point of 193.95. Then you have the volume characteristic of 7.5 million. And right now you're at 2 million. You know, so let's go look at the E-minis, because that's saying right now on this bar, and this is what building cause is all about, folks. This is, you know, it's a back and forth structure until you get some real clarity as to where is the force in the marketplace. If we take a look at the E-minis, let me put this up. So here's the correlation inside the E-minis. As it tried to take out the high, it didn't have the juice. We went into the high with 66,000 contracts versus 110. Now we're trying to get into the low, 1931. We had 87,000 contracts, and thus far we've done 30,000, and that's with 5 minutes. So it has a shot. That has a shot at it. The longer that it stays under 1931.50, the more probability it has that you'll see the expansion of volume. Okay, so now when you're looking at this, you look at 3150, you look at the volume, and that's going to basically tell us where is the force. Is the force that it wants to break topside and you get a nice bounce going, or is the force downtown that it's going to try to go after the swing low number one of the 1921.50, and then thus far we've been building cause. So let's see. So you got 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. You got 80 minutes. I'm taking 80 minutes from the 9:30 open. That's how this whole baby is set up at this particular point. So it's an exciting day out here, no doubt. If you are long this market, folks, just get your stops in. Just get out. I mean, the bottom line is that this market is screaming for lower price. You know, it just depends on how much heartache you want to take in between it. You know, as we were talking about the last couple of days, what has happened is that what starts showing up yesterday when folks were calling in is that, the October swing low wanted to get tested. That October swing low, bottom line, on the S&Ps, the low is 1820. We got down to 1867. That wants to get tested. But what started showing up yesterday was the lows of August of 2011. That's a whole different animal, folks, okay? But on individual stocks, that starts showing up. And guess what? For the way that we went up and the way that folks think that, things have changed and you're never going to have another, never mind correction, just a retracement, that isn't how it works. And this is why you always want to look at percentages. When you look at a percentage, a normal, this is what's pretty sick, okay? Just a normal bounce. No, a normal pullback, and I'm not even going to take it from the bottom, I'm just going to take it from 2011. A normal pullback would get you to 1734, and that's only a 0.382 pullback. A 5.0 pullback brings you to 1608, and you're at 1933. The problem for folks is that we haven't had a pullback for so long. It's like that's unheard of. Well, it's not unheard of, and that's I'm granting you that could be a normal pullback in a bull market. I don't think we're in a bull market, but even if you're in a bull market, that's a normal pullback in a bull market. So that's problematic in a huge way. And if we go over to some of these large caps, the large caps have been screaming for a long period of time that they want lower price out here. We go take a look at the Exxon Mobils of the world. Exxon Mobil is down on 6 million shares, 6 5s of 30. And guess what? See, it's going to be, Exxon's at 72.26. I suspect it's going to get to 71.31. But it better not get this. If it gets to 71.31 with this type of volume, that's not going to be a buy. This is going to be interesting watching how this whole thing shakes out. Because you got, let's see, 6. You're an hour and a half. It's close. Yeah, but you want Exxon backing down with a lot lighter volume than this. Yesterday we went higher with 19 million and back on 16 million. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Dow's down 345. Nasdaq's up 74. S&Ps are down 40. We're going to break back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Don't forget, you stay right there. We got a lot of great programming coming up for you. We got our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, coming up from 11 to 12. Then we're going to Chicago to TD Ameritrade headquarters. Kevin Hinks is going to be here with the option show from 12 to 1. We got Darryl, let's see, today's Tuesday. Then we're going to be going to our man, Mr. Steve Rhodes. Dave White, and I'm going to be back here this afternoon. Our man, Mr. Andy Heck, of course, is on from 5 to 6 tonight. And that's right. So market-wise out here, the longer that we stay into these lower numbers, the more problematic it's going to become, folks, okay? And if we take a look at the SPY just for a second, what you're going to see is this, is that the SPY right now is at 193.53. That little baby is going after the little swing from this morning. The top of that bar that we had been talking about is 193.95. You're at 52 right now. Now, we have done the volume's light coming in here. So, we'll see how it's going to handle the bottom of this. So right now you only have 1.7 million versus 7.5. So that is very light volume coming into that bar. More than likely you're going to see a rejection of that bar. What has already happened, however, is that you already saw a rejection of the highs out here. So those are the parameters that are lined up inside the SPY right now. So the 93, 95 number is something you want to keep your eye on there. The Qs, we're going to take a look at the NDX 100. We'll use the Qs in case you don't use the futures. The Qs right now are at 102.73. Numbers inside the Qs go like this. The 102.66 is the number to keep your eye on. We just got to 5.1. It rejected that. It has lighter volume. Once it has lighter volume, it's saying, okay, man, I'm going to go for the 103.29 again. That's how this whole baby is lined up. And then what you want to do, especially inside the NASDAQ, is you want to keep your eye on the biotechs. Thus far, the biotechs are starting to rear their head. We're down 316 right now at 338. We were down 6. And the biotechs, thus far, all they have done is they try to fill the gap. But the biotechs are I suspect, the only thing that, not the only thing, but one of the things that can get the NASDAQ off the floor. Thus far, it's the E-mini, the futures, that are problematic in a huge way. They're given the clearest indication that, number one, that the lows of today are going to get tested at the 1914, and that's a huge problem, man, because bottom line is that, the closer that we get to that 14 level, the more, actually it's the 21 level. That's all you got to do. We're going after it right now. As our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, comes on, bottom line is I expect we're going to be dealing with that 21.550 number. It wants to go after it, and we'll see how it handles that number. Thus far, it looks to me that inside that S&P, that's where the real problem lies. Now, that is a problem because that's 500 stocks. You're not talking about 30 stocks, folks. And if we go look at the composite inside the all the stocks on the NYSE, that has already shown that we do have a problem in paradise because we're at 9,951, the highs out there. We're 9,000, over 10,068. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there. Man, Mr. Basil Chapman is going to be coming up next, folks. Dow's down 362. NASDAQ's off 80. S&Ps are down 42. Stay right there. Basil's coming right up. Have a great one. Have a safe one, folks. Look forward to speaking to you this afternoon.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This is TFNN.